Stephen J. Klubeck. The executive director is Jeff Mullen. The World Boxing Council, the president, Mauricio Suleiman. The World Boxing Association, the president, Gilberto Jesus Mendoza. The International Boxing Federation, the president, Daryl J. Peoples. And the World Boxing Organization, the president, Francisco Paco Alcarcel. Introducing your 3 judges scoring this undisputed world title contest from ringside. From Nevada, Dave Moretti. From Oklahoma, David Sutherland. And from New Jersey, Steve Weisfeld. And at the sound of the bell, your 3rd man in the ring from Nevada, referee Russell Mora. And now, ladies and gentlemen, the stage is set and we are here. This is it. The time has come. I said the time has come. From the 4 corners of the world to the 4 corners of this ring right here in Las Vegas, Nevada. The fight starts now. Introducing first, tonight he is the challenger. He fights out of the red corner. He wears the black trunks with the white trim. He scaled 167.8 pounds. His storied career began with an outstanding amateur record of over 350 fights and a 2004 Olympic medal. As a professional, he reigned supreme in the middleweight division with 20 straight successful defenses, boasting one of the highest knockout percentages in middleweight championship boxing history, while he himself has never been stopped and never been dropped. His professional record now stands at 42 victories, 1 defeat, 1 draw, with 37 wins coming by way of knockout. Tonight, appearing in his 26th world title fight and looking to avenge his 1 lone defeat, fighting out of and proudly representing his home of Karaganda, Kazakhstan, here is the reigning and unified middleweight champion, Gennadiy Golovkin, Triple D. Triple D. And his opponent across the ring, fighting out of the blue corner. He is the defending undisputed world champion. He wears the red trunks with the white trim. He scaled 167.4 pounds. Tonight, he appears in his 23rd world title fight as he looks to defend his historic super middleweight status. Please welcome the former super welterweight champion of the world. Please welcome the former middleweight champion of the world. Please welcome the former light heavyweight champion of the world. And please welcome the first ever and only undisputed super middleweight champion of the world, peleando fuera de la tierra del tequila y los mariachis, Guadalajara, Jalisco, México, presentando el orgullo del pueblo mexicano, Saul Canelo Alvares.
Centering, gentlemen. Okay, trunks here are good. Trunks here are good. I'm going to let you both work the top of the bout line. Gentlemen, we went over the rules in the dressing room. I want to remind you, protect yourself at all times. Obey my commands. God bless you both. Touch up.
Oh, boy. Triple G has waited 4 long years for this moment, but now that it's here, questions abound. Is he too old? Will his body break? Or does he have one last masterful performance yet? Because it will take a master performance to beat that man, Canelo Alvarez, who has a real disdain for Triple H. He is about to end this fight in spectacular fashion and pick up the biggest and most satisfying win of his career. That's his goal. Here we go.
strategic question in this fight is how vulnerable is Golovkin to the body, and how frequently is Canelo going to target it? He hit the body 46 times in that second fight. Since then, we have seen Golovkin hurt by Sergey Derevyanchenko, hurt by Ryota Murata. Will Canelo be able to hurt Golovkin there tonight?
You can bet Canelo's going to be aiming at the body of Triple G early and often. These early rounds are going to be crucial. These fights always come down to the end, so whoever's going to bank the early rounds is going to have the advantage.
And who's going to be the ring general? Who's going to go forward and who will go backwards?
The key for Golovkin in this fight is obviously that jab, that shotgun jab, but he must hurt Canelo to the body. He must go to the body.
Canelo said he was looking for the knockout in round one. He came out to the song Mama Said Knock You Out by LL Cool J. And Canelo very rarely is that forward about knocking someone out. He'll say if it comes, it comes. But not for this fight, Chris. He's going for the gusto.
Well, this is what Canelo did in the second fight. Apply select pressure. Because, as Daniel knows, Golovkin loves to fight at a distance. He's a predator in the ring, but he stops short when he gets close to you to keep that range up. Canelo was able to frustrate him in that second fight by applying pressure and making Golovkin fight off that back foot.
Golovkin holding his ground. In the first fight, Golovkin backed up Canelo. In the second fight, Canelo backed up Golovkin. Right here, it's a little bit of both. Golovkin's not really giving the ground.
Well, they've shared 24 rounds together, Daniel, but it's been 4 years. Does it feel fresh, you think?
Yeah, it must feel fresh because, you know, Golovkin seems a bit tentative. I thought he was going to come out and be a lot faster, but clearly Canelo has took that game plan.
I think it's the inactivity. In the last 4 years, Canelo has fought 8 times against 6 champions. Golovkin's only fought 4 times.
And even in the first round for Golovkin, you can see that it is a clear evidence that he's a little off. He's aged just a little bit. The timing maybe is not as sharp, maybe it's not as fast, and it's very evident even in this first round for me to see.
As we learned from the 2 first encounters, every round matters.
One thing I can say about Golovkin is he didn't fill out 168 like Canelo did. It's a little bit softer than Canelo in the body. Then again, Golovkin's never had that muscular frame even at 160.
Tranquilito, nomás no quiero que te me avientes porque él está marcándote tu jab, te está marcando tu jab, acuérdate que su derecho te está marcando para tirarte esta. Cuando vayas a ver, si fallas esta, luego te agachas y mueve la cintura. Y échalo para atrás, cabrón. Cerradito, cerradito. Es muy lento para ti, pero es un peleador que dio un golpe. Lastima, cerrado, güey.
Two boxing legends here tonight and 2 comedic legends as well. Dave Chappelle and Joe Rogan taking in the fight of the year. We talked about Triple G wanting to establish the jab, Daniel, but he was just 2 of 32 with the jab in round 1.
Very, very tentative Triple G was in his first round. You know, as Sean said, he needs to apply himself. Plans that Bivol had and displayed. Bivol's a body guy, as Canelo just lands a big hook, but Triple G needs to apply more. But with the young, slipperier fighter, a more elusive fighter, and Canelo, it's going to be very hard.
Yeah, Bivol came to that last fight fresher, bigger, stronger. He just had a lot more physical attributes at that stage of his career than Golovkin does.
And one thing about Golovkin, he's never really been good at using his feet. And so to be able to avoid some of these shots, he's going to have to get out of the way.
Yeah, when I asked Golovkin if he's going to follow a similar game plan as Bivol, he says, no, Bivol took a page out of my book, keeping the distance, the jab. So he's very confident Golovkin is into this trilogy.
Good distance control by Triple G to avoid that 1-2 combo from Alvarez.
Yeah, you can see the speed difference in Canelo's punches right now, but right now the timing and the distance and the range Golovkin's doing a good job keeping that.
Haven't seen a lot of body work.
No body work yet from either fighter.
Vinny so far.
No.
Golovkin seems as if he needs to see the target in order to go for it. He needs to stop setting up them shots to create an opportunity to get a strong power shot.
Golovkin's doing a good job moving counterclockwise and not backing up like he did in that second fight. So he's boxing in circles, which is what you need to do in the middle of the ring.
Canelo with a nice jab. Don't forget, he's got a pretty darn good one as well. It's not all about Triple G's jab. There it is again.
You know, one area Golovkin's going to have to improve on to win this fight is accuracy with his power shots. There's a lot of attention paid to the volume punching of Golovkin, how he outpunched Canelo in each of those first two fights. But Canelo was the far more accurate puncher, especially when it came to power shots.
You see, Chris, because one thing about Canelo is he'll hit your arm, he'll hit your shoulder, he'll hit anywhere that he can actually get to bring you down. And I mean, Golovkin needs to do the same thing, beat your body down. So maybe Canelo
type of power. Golovkin has that dense power. He can hit you anywhere, like Daniel was saying, in the shoulder, and it could hurt. Canelo actually fights with explosive speed, but you can hear the stump.
Ooh, nice overhand right from Canelo. Closing the distance.
Nice double jab right hand by Golovkin right there. I would love to see Golovkin dig down to the body a lot more, a lot earlier.
Well, if the first two rounds are any indication, we're going to have another who won this fight type of reaction after round 12.
You're trying to settle you down so you can go for a brawl. You don't like you all doing all this moving, because as you're moving, you catching it. You catch it coming forward, backwards. Just all you keep that left hand going. Keep pumping, keep calm, keep look over. Start jabbing, bye-bye, spin that left hand. And then start turning. Just keep your toes tapping and stay in that rhythm. Beautiful fucking rhythm. Beautiful fucking.
Golovkin right here with that left hook. Kind of caught Golovkin off guard. Golovkin expected a straight jab, came around with that hook, and then Golovkin comes back with his famous hook, landed right on the cheek of Canelo.
Hey, Steph Curry. How you doing? All right, round 3. First two rounds very close. But what else is new when these two fight each other? It was interesting that Canelo said, I'm going after the knockout in round 1. When we told Golovkin about that, he goes, you know what? It's all BS. He's just talking trash. He knows he's not going to knock me out in the first round.
There's a first heavy shot thrown by Canelo to the body, blocked by Triple G. You can expect a lot more body shots coming soon.
And Sergio, I'm with you about Golovkin. This has not been his game, especially paying more attention to the body in recent years. The first two fights, he landed a combined total of 14 body shots.
The crowd stores. Step in the heat up again. Here's the aggression we were waiting for.
Yeah, I believe Golovkin hasn't been aiming to the body because it makes him vulnerable to the uppercuts of Canelo. Canelo has a more explosive hands. So the speed's on Canelo's part, and the power, I would say, edges out Golovkin.
I agree with you, Sergio. And it's been showing so far. Canelo's been landing some pretty good shots and been making marks on Golovkin's face already. One thing I remember about fighting Canelo in the fight that we had was that Canelo's very tick-tocky. You have to sometimes time him. You have to be understanding that he's a trickster, you know? But watch his feet, watch his shoulders, because it all has to come together for him to make those power shots.
Yeah, that's that improved upper body movement, because if you look at his feet, they're flat-footed. He's not much of a...
Now Canelo stepping in, and that gets a nod of approval from Triple G. Good glory from Alvarez, and he got Triple G backing up.
What Canelo lacks in foot speed, he makes up with hand speed.
All right, let's check in with Sean Porter.
Well, y'all, we got a really methodical, slow start from both guys. Really, both guys are looking, trying to set things up. Now, we see through 3 rounds, Canelo is starting to pick it up, and Triple G really doesn't have an answer right now. What I think is Triple G needs to start to use his jab more, double up on that jab, and start to put more punches together. If Triple G does not increase his punch output immediately, he's going to fall behind, and he's never going to catch up.
Here comes Canelo applying the pressure. The question asked earlier is who's going to fight on the front foot, and right now it's the Mexican.
Yeah, so far this feels a lot more like the second fight than it does the first.
Again with the jab, Canelo really doing well with that left jab.
Estás ganando todos los jabs, hijo, ¿eh? Ok, poco a poco ir empezando a dominar. Ok, ahí va, estás trabajando bien. Déjalo para atrás, vas bien, y fue poco a poquito, hay que empezar a dominarlo. Ya cuando empecemos a dominarlo, empezamos a...
You start to dominate, you get first with the jab. He's showing you wants to throw that right.
Cerradito, cerradito.
Keeping you shut. Look at the markings all over the face now of Gennadiy Golovkin. Is the power of Alvarez just going to be too much for the 40-year-old?
I don't think it'll be the power, Todd. I think it'll be the speed and the accuracy, the precision that will be too much for an older fighter.
Yeah, Canelo's just been a step ahead of Golovkin the entire night.
It is Mexican Independence Day weekend, and Vegas has been rocking the last few days. 90% of the people in the building, at least, are cheering for Alvarez.
I like the upper body movement by Golovkin. It's kind of keeping Canelo off course. It's not really landing anything cleanly, even though the roll of the crowd is making you think so, but good upper body movement, patient defense by Golovkin.
Just a second ago, Serge. Once again, Canelo is just making those overhand right reaches to around the guard. He's putting the beats on them now. It's really masterful right now what I'm seeing Canelo do.
And Sergio, whatever you think about the ring generalship or the movement of Golovkin, he's just not throwing an occasional jab with a lot of power shots back. It's just nothing else behind it.
Yeah, right now it's hitter. So speed's not going to be on Golovkin's side, but blunt power is.
Well, according to CompuBox, Triple G has only landed 6 power punches the whole fight.
And he already got hit with 2 big left hooks. There's 3.
Okay, that's not unusual for opponents of Canelo Alvarez. They're reluctant to let that right hand go because they know if they miss, something big is coming back.
And keep in mind, Bivol lost most of the early rounds against Canelo before turning things around late. Maybe Triple G can do the same.
And the reason I think Golovkin neglects the body in that second fight, and he's neglected it now, is because he's afraid of the catch and the uppercuts and the counters from the faster hands of Canelo. But in order for Golovkin to win this fight, he has to go down to Canelo's body as well.
Partially blocked, but still moving. 10 seconds to go here in the 4th. Waiting for Triple G to land something of consequence.
All he's doing is something. All you have to do, believe in yourself, because you're not doing it. So believe in what we're doing.
He'll being a much sharper, much faster, cleaner fighter. He's landed a good up jab to the face of Golovkin. And also, with the power that Canelo has, we're able to see him land a really good hook to get Triple G's nods of approval.
What did you make of the advice in the corner, Chris?
I thought it was interesting, to say the least. Clearly, there's a game plan that Jonathan Banks and Gennadiy Golovkin have concocted for this fight, but Golovkin, to this point, is not executing, not even attempting to implement. I thought the word choice, believe in what you worked on, was interesting.
He did also add, you got to shoot your shot.
Yeah, that means you got to take more chances. You got to start fighting like the monster you once were. But that's what happens when you age as a fighter.
At one point, Triple G had knocked out 23 straight opponents until a man named Daniel Jacobs went the distance with him. But right now, Triple G does not look like he has any type of game plan to knock out Alvarez.
Yeah, absolutely. You have to understand the nature of this game. It's a young man's sport. Experience can only get you but so far. Does Triple G know exactly how to use his experience to keep this young bull off him? It seems hard to bear right now.
And that's a good point. That's what Canelo needs to do. He needs to fight like the younger fighter with more vigor, more stamina. Push the 40-year-old fighter. Make him feel his age. Do it early and do it often. Canelo aiming at the left bicep of Golovkin now, doing exactly what he did with Smith.
He did with Bivol as well.
And with Bivol as well.
Bivol said he couldn't lift his arms above his head after the fight.
Callum Smith and Dimitri Bivol got a taste of that, absolutely.
Just waiting for Triple G to just come alive.
And Canelo's looking for the right explosive opportunity to counter. A big shot from Golovkin.
Here's Chris Mannix's scorecard through 4.
Yeah, I've got it 4 rounds to none in favor of Canelo Alvarez. Just has been dictating the pace of this fight. Golovkin operating largely behind the jab, not landing many, if any, power shots of consequence. If he's going to win this fight, if he's going to get back into this fight, he's got to open up.
That was off balance, but not good optics for Golovkin as Alvarez looks like the bully in there. Oh! Big overhand right!
That shook Golovkin.
I don't like the look in Golovkin's face. There's a look of insecurity right now. This big drama show.
After his loss to Bivol, this looks like a new Canelo and an old Triple G.
Training camp, you start losing you start moving around, using your jab, you start hitting these big guys with the long shots. That's what you got to start doing. You got to start moving around. Of course, he can follow you, and you can start running into your shots. He wants to fight short the whole time. You're not throwing enough punches to stay active short. So you got to start moving. You got to move around. Get your rhythm, move around, and start using that long.
Golovkin's going to have to let go of his hands to get respect of Canelo. Right there, that's a lack of leg strength from Golovkin, showing his age. Anytime a fighter starts falling off balance like that, it's that the legs and the strength is not there, and that's why overhand shots like that land. Very uncharacteristic of Golovkin to get hit with overhand punches like that.
Chris, I did like in the corner of Triple G, he said, look, we got to change it up. We got to change the game plan.
Oh, absolutely. He has to change the game plan because right now, to me, he hasn't even won 1 round. You know, Golovkin has to change this thing into alternative events to where he can be in the judge's favor. Because right now, it seems as if even at the 6th round, he needs a knockout to win.
He's a step behind Canelo and a little slower on the draw when it comes to his punches. But that's what you expect with an older fighter.
Jessica McCaskill, what do you make of what you're seeing?
Canelo Alvarez has just been very fluid since the very beginning of the fight with small movements side to side, moving from the hips, moving his head, little steps over, just making sure that he stays moving during the whole fight. Also making it hard for him to hit, being not an easy target, but quite the opposite for Triple G, standing in one place, not very good movement, not really throwing. He seems very tentative, even from the very first round until now.
Good counter shot by Triple G. Canelo rode with it.
Well, Triple G needs to at least start winning rounds.
The reaction time of Golovkin's, it's a little slower than it normally is.
Look at the power punch discrepancy. 11 landed power shots through 5 for Golovkin.
And once again, you see the accuracy, which has been a staple of these first 2 fights between Canelo and Triple G. His power punches have generally been a lot more accurate.
And keep in mind, coming into this fight, Gennadiy Golovkin outlanded Canelo in 75% of the rounds they fought.
I don't think Golovkin has done anything to get the respect of Canelo. No thumping punches like in the first 2 fights.
In my opinion, Golovkin has just been trying to find his own rhythm, let alone have a defense or an answer for what he's being presented with.
No rhythm, and there's like a lack of confidence on Golovkin's part.
Sergio,
he's not putting no power into any of his shots, not even his shotgun jab that we're accustomed to seeing.
Absolutely. I myself think personally age has a factor to do with this.
There's an uppercut. A ray of sunshine for Triple G.
No jabs from Golovkin. I mean, that's what he's known for. Landing 10 jabs around, one of the best jabs in boxing. But right now, it seems like he's tentative to let those shots go because he knows the faster hands of Canelo might counter him.
Yeah, according to CompuBox, Golovkin is the most accurate jabber in all of boxing, landing more than twice the middleweight average per round.
But you wouldn't know it tonight. The lack of jab is not there.
Time!
Yeah, there's a lot of options on the table. Furman.
Seconds out!
Let's go, baby.
Round 7. It has been basically domination so far from Canelo Alvarez. Golovkin has to turn this around, and he's got to do it now.
Too much respect being shown by Golovkin. This is not what we're accustomed to seeing from the big drama show. Too much respect here.
Oh, good right cross from Canelo, and it looks like Triple G may just have decided, I've got to stand and bang. Go out on my shield. Let's go toe-to-toe.
He's going to have to figure something out. He's going to have to figure it out fast. Because it's all downhill from what I see. Triple G needs to really pick up the punch count. Take more chances.
And that's what Jonathan Banks told him in the corner. You need to pick it up. It's time to take chances, but it's up to the fighter whether he feels he's confident enough to be able to do that. And right now, he's not even unleashing his best weapon, which is the jab.
And I'm surprised at the lack of body punching by both fighters, really. We've seen that Triple G has been hurt to the body against in his last fight against Murata, against Derevyanchenko.
I'd like to see more feints from Canelo. Anytime that it looks like he's going to punch, Golovkin really reacts to it and bites.
The crowd erupting at every landed power punch from their hero, the undisputed champ. I don't think there's going to be a judging controversy in this one, gentlemen.
No, there's not.
Unless someone's hauled Adelaide Burden here and sat her down ringside.
No, I don't think there's going to be anything there because Golovkin's not doing enough to sway any of these rounds. Whether he's slowed down because of age or intimidated with the hand speed or just not feeling it, this isn't the monster we're accustomed to seeing in Gennadiy Golovkin.
No, you're right, Sergio. Definitely looks like mentally he has tapped out.
Only a few more to go. Let's keep going.
Alvarez said he would not be satisfied unless he knocked Golovkin out. Let's see how aggressive he is over these last 5 rounds.
And as soon as his corner, Eddie Reynoso, told him to aim at the shoulder and the bicep of Golovkin, that's exactly what Canelo did.
Chris Mannix is in the corner of Triple G.
John, past the halfway point, how do you feel it's going for Gennadiy?
It's the tooth and nail fight, and I don't like the way it's looking. I don't like a tooth and nail fight because I want G to go to work. I want him to go to work like that. I want him to go to work and keep working. That's what I would like to see. I want him to go back to work and let's keep working.
How do you counter the speed advantage that Canelo has out there?
Oh, you got to back him up. He got to keep letting his hands go. You can't wait for him like you're doing now. He got to be forward. He got to go forward. He got to be first. He got to let his hands go. He got to do everything we've been working on. Just like he keeps shooting that left hand down the middle. That's what it's going to take for him to get back in this fight and get ahead like I want him to be ahead.
Thanks, John.
Didn't want to say his fighter was losing, but you could tell in the expression on his face and the sound of his voice, he knows his fighter's in trouble.
Now, we're not accustomed to seeing this tentative side of what used to be a monster. Golovkin is fighting like an older fighter. He doesn't want to take chances or put himself in position to get hit with the faster hands of Canelo.
Because even when we see just now, Sergio, when they go hook for hook, the faster man always lands.
And that was the thing between these two. Both of them were exchanged because they would throw the same punches. Where Golovkin's not keeping up with the speed and the combinations of Canelo.
Like what I'm seeing from Canelo also, Sergio, he's making those investments to the body this round. Maybe that'll be something that'll put the nail in the coffin.
And maybe that's a strategy of his because we didn't see no body shots in the first half of the fight, but we're definitely seeing them in the second half.
True.
No body shots from Golovkin, though. I think he's afraid of getting countered with the hand speed of the younger Canelo. That's why we haven't seen no body shots from Golovkin.
And you know, it also takes a lot of more energy to get down and throw those hard body shots. So from a 40-year-old man who is in there with the young bull in Canelo, he has to do extra and go do the most, actually.
That's a great point because you have to bend your legs and it takes that thigh strength, and Golovkin doesn't want to use that just yet.
Under 30 to go here in the 8th. Triple G has backed Canelo up. But you wonder if he's just letting Triple G come inside. Just so he can counter him.
Yeah, I think Canelo's playing a little possum right there. You're right, Tom.
That's something Triple G used to do.
Out of early Golovkin book. And Golovkin used to do a little bit of that, invite fighters in, take one punch to deliver two. Canelo turning the tables.
Daniel, Canelo has outlanded Triple G to the body, 31-6.
Wow, that's incredible. Given those numbers, you know, you can see why Triple G is having the endurance problem that he's having. Aside from the age, those investments that he's been making been wear and tear on him. He's slow to the punches. You know, he's second when they exchange to land. And I just think that he's being outclassed and outworked this evening.
I still want to see more body shots from Canelo, just like that. Rip both sides of the body.
Chris, how's your scorecard through 8?
I've got an 8 rounds to none in favor of Canelo. It's just really difficult to find a round that Gennadiy Golovkin has won. He's being outlanded. He's being outworked. The ring generalship is on the side of Canelo here. Gennadiyy's going to have to do something special to win this fight.
Nice overhand right again from Canelo. The first 2 fights about as close as you could get. This one about as wide as you could get.
Well, look, on one side, you're seeing a special fighter in the prime of his career in the weight class he's most comfortable in. On the other side, a warrior, but one that's 40 years old and has been relatively inactive over the last 4 years.
In their last fight, Triple G landed 19 punches per round. In this fight, 8 punches per round. But he's throwing more here.
Golovkin's finally letting his hands go. Put a little bit more power behind those punches, backing up Canelo.
That moves Canelo back. And now maybe we will get some drama from the drama show.
Golovkin has to throw here. He backed up Canelo. This is it. This is what Jonathan Banks wants. If you're going to go out on your shield. Yeah. Let them hands go.
Carpe diem. Seize the moment.
Thing two, for me, understanding the issue that he's having is maybe he's just too tired to. Maybe it's just a lot to put these combinations together and keep up with a very youthful guy like Canelo. He sees punches.
There's a right hand.
The experience knows that it's there. But can he match the speed and power of Canelo Alvares?
He has come to life.
But you can see that he's not putting much power in those shots. He knows that Canelo's playing possum. He's just touching him.
And there's a heavy right hand from the champ. This is what we hoped for. Great round from Triple G.
Se crezca, güey, ¿eh? Faltan 3 rounds nomás. ¿Cómo te sientes?
Don't let him go into the fight. There's only 3 rounds left. You need to do things the right way.
Eres más joven que él.
You're younger than him. You need to show that youthfulness.
And there's that sharp right uppercut right there, which makes it difficult for Golovkin to go to the body of Canelo, which is why we have a lack of body shot of Golovkin. But at the end of that round, Golovkin showed you flashes of what made him special, coming around, getting the combinations, getting Canelo against the ropes. Canelo responded with the faster hands.
Chris, you haven't given Triple G a round all night. Did he win the night?
Yeah, I gave him that one. I thought Golovkin applied good pressure in that round, landed his best punch of the night, and you're seeing him basically say, at this point, I'm going to let my hands go. I may lose, but I'm going out my way.
And that's what the fans want to see. Mexican style versus Kazakh style.
In the corner of Canelo, they said, show your youthfulness. This is where you should step up.
They also said, don't let him get overconfident. Don't let him grow in stature. Don't let him get confident when coming forward.
Nice left hook from Golovkin.
Because one thing if Golovkin has, it's that power. That power, especially that, I won't say the old man, but you know, that older man strength that he has, it's heavy. You got to be out top for it.
First heavy body shot there by Canelo, blocked by Golovkin. I want to see more body shots from Canelo.
Power is the last thing a fighter loses. And Triple G will have to summon all he has if he's going to land the fatal blow. He needs a knockout.
Good body shot there by Canelo. That one hurt.
Yeah, you saw Golovkin drop that right hand. He felt that one.
And you can see Canelo just staring at the midsection now.
Yep.
He's got his target.
If Canelo could double up on that right side of the body, I could see Golovkin getting hurt for that.
There's an uppercut from Triple G.
Canelo has the mind frame of a man who knows he has another man in danger.
Golovkin doing something we never accustomed to seeing, clinching.
Stop, let go.
Just missed from Canelo, grazing the forehead of Triple G.
Triple G didn't even see that uppercut.
Left hook from Golovkin, who's having some success here in the late rounds. Triple jab from Triple G.
And there's that untimely jab that we're used to by Triple G. He should have been picking that up.
Head's okay. Time! Go there, go there. Let it go, let it go. I got an accidental headbutt. He's bleeding here. He's bleeding here. Accidental headbutt. I got an accidental headbutt. Accidental headbutt. Let him know that.
Breaking down opponents. Not seeing that tonight.
Watch your head.
2 rounds left. These are the championship rounds. Super middleweight undisputed championship on the line. It's been almost all Canelo, but the last 3 rounds have been very competitive.
And respect being shown coming out of that round, touching gloves, which is something you're not used to seeing from bitter rivals.
Never failed to impress these guys.
Stop!
Even though we haven't seen all that we're used to seeing from Triple G, he's given it a valiant effort.
From a 40-year-old, you'd think maybe he would start early and fade late, but it's been the opposite for Golovkin.
Yeah, that happened in the Murata fight as well. Murata had a lot of success in the first 4 rounds. Golovkin was patient, he was relentless, and he eventually stopped Murata.
Notice how any time Canelo looks like he's going to go to the body, Triple G's elbow tightens up. He blocks the right side of his body. Canelo has to see that.
And you can see a cut on the right eye of Alvarez. But the last few rounds, Daniel, have looked a lot more like the first 2 fights.
Absolutely. Canelo is definitely taking over. He is definitely the better fighter out of the 2 we can see. He hasn't really been doing much, little increments here and there. But the better man, the more sharper, the more crisp, the stronger, the younger, faster man, Canelo Alvarez, is doing what he needs to do.
Yeah, Golovkin, it looks like it appears he's losing 2 battles. One against a younger champion and the other against Father Time, because he's looking very, very tentative.
Well,
He looks tentative, but
he looks good in this round.
He's been operating well behind that jab in this round. Multiple jabs, 2, 3 jab combinations, following up with the right hand. He's been far more competitive in the second half of this fight than he has been in the first.
But have you given him more than 2 rounds?
Not yet.
Stop, Leco. That's not competitive.
Triple G, through 10 rounds, had thrown 300 fewer punches tonight than he did through 10 rounds in his last fight against Canelo in the second fight.
Golovkin is timid with his power. He's not unleashing it with ferocity like we normally are accustomed to see. He's afraid of the faster combinations from the younger, youthful champion in Canelo.
Neither man has been knocked down or stopped. And it seems like Triple G will need to put Canelo down and stop it. It's round 36. The final 3 minutes, these two men will share a ring together. It has been a fantastic trilogy, but it all comes to a close right now.
And remember, Canelo has knocked out champions in the championship round. He knocked out Caleb Plant in the 11th, Kovalev in the 11th. Can he get Golovkin out in the 12th? Watch your head.
It'll really do something for him if he can match that knockout. Coming out from that loss, he set it out for himself to make a good point, to make a good impression, to say, hey, I went for greatness, I came up short, but I'm still that guy in this boxing thing.
Stop! Let go! No punches.
Triple G not fighting with the desperation you would think here in the 12th round.
No, he's content to cross the finish line now. You know, this is an old, great champion that wants to just finish on his feet.
Stop! Let go! Let go!
The only man ever to beat Gennadiy Golovkin is Canelo Alvarez, and he's about to do it again.
Stop! Let go! Let go! Stop! Let go! Let go!
Yeah, we expected to see a classic third fight between these two warriors. A Bo Holyfield type trilogy. Instead, we're getting an older version of a Duran and Leonard trilogy here.
Yeah, the only drama is the father time, Sergio. Other than that, you know, he really tried his best. It's just, you know, it's just a little man's sport.
Stop! Let go!
You know, when Gennadiy Golovkin looks back on this tape and watches it, he's going to wonder why he didn't fight the first half of the fight the way he's attempted to fight the second, because he has been far more aggressive in the second half of the fight.
Well, I'll tell you why, because he already knows he's crossed the second half of the fight, so age is not going to be a factor anymore. He just wanted enough stamina and conditioning to get to the second half of the fight. Now he could throw caution to the wind. That's how old fighters think.
10 seconds left. It is finished. Just ready now. Here's David Diamante.
Ladies and gentlemen, a round of applause, please, for these two warriors. After 12 hard-fought rounds here at the T-Mobile Arena, we go to the judges' score totals. Dave Moretti, 116-112. Steve Weisfeld and David Sutherland both scored this bout identically, 115-113. All three for your winner by unanimous decision. And still, the undisputed super middleweight champion of the world, Saul Canelo
The judging, I will never understand what these judges are seeing. The first two fights were razor thin, but this one was not. 115-113 is one round apart.
Think about it.